The bell above the little cafe door chimed softly. Emma wiped her flour-dusted hands on her apron, turning toward the sound with her usual warm smile. It was her favorite part of owning this place, the small moments when strangers walked in, tired and cold, and left feeling a little lighter. But this time, the man standing in the doorway made her heart freeze. Tall. Broad shoulders. Sharp suit that screamed money. And eyes she knew too well. Ryan Carter. The man who had once promised her forever, then walked away without looking back. Emma's throat went dry. She hadn't seen him in almost 8 years. Not since the night he'd chosen his career, his empire, over her. Ryan's gaze scanned the cafe, casual at first, until it landed on her. His confident stride faltered. For the first time in forever, Emma saw uncertainty in his eyes. Before she could even think of what to say, a little voice broke the silence. "Mommy, can I have more sprinkles?" Emma turned. Her daughter, Lily, sat at the counter, swinging her legs, her curls bouncing as she stirred hot chocolate. She was sunshine in human form, 5 years old, curious, innocent. And then it happened. Lily looked up, straight at Ryan. Her big hazel eyes widened. She tilted her head, studying him carefully. Then, in the kind of voice that slices through silence like lightning, she asked, "Daddy?" The room seemed to stop breathing. Emma's chest tightened. Ryan's hand, gripping his briefcase, trembled slightly. Ryan hadn't expected this. He'd come to the cafe on the corner because his car had broken down nearby. He just needed coffee and a moment to breathe between meetings. He hadn't expected her. Emma, the one woman he had loved but couldn't keep. And now, a little girl who looked too much like him to be coincidence. His heart pounded as he stared at the child. His child? Emma, his voice cracked, almost unrecognizable. Is she? Emma's hands trembled as she poured milk into a cup, trying to hold herself together. You don't get to ask that, she whispered. Ryan swallowed hard. Regret washed over him in waves. He'd built skyscrapers, signed billion-dollar deals, and yet, standing here, he realized he might have lost the only thing that had ever truly mattered. The next days blurred into something surreal. Ryan came back. Again and again. At first, Emma avoided him. She had worked too hard, built too much, to let him shatter her world again. But Lily, bright, fearless Lily, had other plans. "Mommy, Mr. Ryan reads stories funny," she giggled one evening when Ryan offered to help at closing. "Mommy, Mr. Ryan showed me how to draw a rocket ship." "Mommy, can Mr. Ryan come to my school play?" Emma's defenses cracked, piece by piece. She saw the way Ryan knelt to Lily's level, the way his proud CEO facade melted into pure tenderness. He didn't just show up, he stayed. He swept the cafe floor, helped fix the leaky sink, listened when Emma vented about supplier troubles. It wasn't the grand gestures she remembered him for. It was the little ones. And slowly, Emma began to see not the man who had left her, but the man who desperately wanted to make things right. The night of Lily's school play was the turning point. Emma sat in the audience, her heart pounding as Lily stepped onto the stage in her paper star costume. She spotted Ryan a few seats down, his usually composed face glowing with pride, eyes misting when Lily recited her single line with all the power of a Broadway star. When Lily ran off stage, she didn't run to Emma. She ran straight into Ryan's arms. "Did I do good, Daddy?" she whispered. Ryan hugged her, voice breaking. "You were perfect." And Emma, for the first time in years, felt her heart soften completely. Later, after the play, Ryan found Emma outside under the stars. "I was a coward," he admitted, his voice raw. "I thought success would fill the emptiness. But none of it meant anything. Not without you. Not without her." Tears welled in Emma's eyes. She had carried the weight of raising Lily alone. She had built a life out of scraps, out of resilience. And now, here he was, asking for a second chance. People don't just get to walk back in after years, she whispered. No, Ryan said softly. But maybe people can prove they've changed. Maybe people can spend the rest of their lives making up for what they lost. Emma studied him for a long moment. And for the first time, she didn't just see the man who left. She saw the man who came back, and stayed. Weeks later, the cafe was busier than ever. Emma laughed as Ryan clumsily took orders behind the counter, wearing a borrowed apron that looked ridiculous over his tailored shirt. Lily was perched on a stool, drawing another rocket ship. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't a fairy tale. But it was real. And sometimes, real was better than perfect. As Emma looked at Ryan and Lily together, her little family, whole at last, she realized something. Love wasn't about never making mistakes. It was about having the courage to come back, and choosing each other, again and again. In the end, kindness heals what pride once broke. And sometimes, the greatest second chances are the ones we never saw coming.